self, and you can still execute thoughts in a way that's using more of your capacity, of your mental capacity. And I think that people just say, goodbye, mental capacity. I'm just going to get fucked up. And imagine a party full of drunk people, right? Everyone's drunk, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's like a lot of psychedelic events. They're not outwardly like this because of the drugs. They're more like, yeah, whatever, yeah, tripping out, you know? But it's like the same thing as going to a party where everyone's totally drunk. And I think they take too many drugs. And I think they have two rules. Rule number one, when they're at their events and doing drugs. And rule number two, when they're basically being cowards like everyone else, doing not a goddamn thing to fight the New World Order or...
So they're just doing raves and doing drugs.
Or working a shit job, not using their minds, or not spreading any information about anything, generally. They don't do anything. They're the same people as in the suburbs, except instead of watching television or getting excited about their children playing hockey or soccer, they get excited about doing drugs. And they spend their time doing drugs.
So you see the psychedelic spice in like a way of just seeing further than the reality we live in and compose it with that to make something better.
But how does it work in the end when they're 30 years old? They don't do it anymore. They don't do it at all, most of them, do they? And the ones that do are usually like kind of fuck-ups. It's true. Oh, I used to do that when I was younger. Oh my God, I used to go to raves and do MDMA all the time. I hear it all the time from people that work with banks and pharmaceutical companies and work for the government, with lawyers, whatever it is. It's not real. It's not lasting. It's like a more badass, daring way to be like of the college age. And then after that, they go back with everybody else. Most of them. You said something about yoga?
About yoga?
Yoga, yeah.
Yeah, no, I was going to talk about yoga when I was thinking about different mindset. Not only psychedelic brings a different mindset, but also yoga. Also, I mean, the rock that Yannick is selling, if you just concentrate yourself in something, you can achieve more than just
Alchemy.
alchemy.
Well, that's interesting you bring up the rock, because it's the rock instead of the drug that can interact with you and help you achieve something.
It's kind of the same thing.
Yoga too. I think yoga is overrated.
Yeah.
It's trendy.
Yeah, now it's trendy. Yeah, because it's kind of a physical thing now.
I think it drains you in a way, actually, yoga. And I think it shifts your spirit to inward. And it makes enlightenment a bit too clinical. I've never met someone that's good at yoga that is more enlightened than me. It's true. And you can be enlightened when you drink a lot of alcohol too. It's true. You can really have far out.
I don't think you need anything to be enlightened.
No. Emotion can make you enlightened. Feeling things. Do a lot of the people in the psychedelic community really feel things?
But what do you think psychedelic have to do with the enlightenment?
Well, because it allows your mind to drift into areas it normally has no access to due to the immense programming and conditioning it's been under. Plus, it must be a tool of science that is valid for the mind. Obviously, they used LSD therapy. Mushrooms I've read are still used all over the world. It's just... And why is it such a big deal? It's the same thing as sex, right? Sex is such a big deal. Psychedelic. I shouldn't fucking call it psychedelic, basically. You know what? That's why this is all happening. I use that word. Like if I use like the Nazi word, then you'd have all these like bald dudes with Doc Martens coming over. And you're like, all right, cool, Nazi, you know. And basically, yeah, psychedelic is in a way the same thing as a swastika, and I'll never use that fucking word again.
So you like the enlightenment of that, but not psychedelic
I
culture.
think the word is not cool. And you know what? The Beatles never said they were psychedelic. They didn't. They just did shit. Brian Wilson, you know what he said about himself? That he was psychedelic. But he never said he was. They asked him, "Are you psychedelic?" And that was his way of handling the question from the reporter in 1966 at the height of his power. As he said, creative power. As he said, "I'm psychedelic." Because he didn't want to fucking say, "Yeah, I'm psychedelic." Fuck that. Have you heard Surf's Up?
So you don't want to categorize people in psychedelic at all.
Not anymore. Well, I never did, but it's interesting. Like,
But now it is.
I've gained
It's a thing
enlightenment
now.
from talking to you. I've gained enlightenment. That the word psychedelic is, the whole concept is like saying sex. You know? I'm going on a sex date.
What do you mean?
Well, like, if you go out with a girl, you should just say you're going on a sex date. Same thing as saying something psychedelic.
Yeah, I don't see that.
It's exploiting a certain element of, like, you know, tripping out in your mind and taking substances, you know, or whatever. It's exploiting that. If you go on a date with a woman, you might have sex with her, but there's more to it than that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you don't call it a sex date, right? Well, you
I
shouldn't
see
call
what
it
you mean.
psychedelic. Fuck that. It should just be one element. If we go out for sushi, hey, let's go out for some soy sauce. Same thing. It's labeling. It's like,
yeah, the label got.
people all the time say, "Oh, dude, psychedelic." Oh yeah, like we're like more brothers or something because of that. You know. But it's just bullshit, really. Honestly, it's bullshit. Because there's really great writers that use psychedelic drugs that don't hang out at raves, and all kinds of people. You know, minority of are not these. A majority of the psychedelic users are younger and they go to parties. But yeah, I don't know. It's like, why is it? So, oh my God, people do DMT. I don't know. It's like, what about psychiatric drugs? That's terrible.
Oh, what's that?
You know, like antidepressants
Okay.
and all that. I don't know. That's another community. The therapist community.
But psychedelic just mean, like I told you, mind manifesting. So you don't need psychedelic drugs and tripping out to be enlightened.
You know what's interesting? You can do things to help you, but also removing things can help too. Like removing an oppressive government. That's the goal of these parties, is to build up a base of people that like this kind of trip, and then try to help migrate them over to a global political party like the Green Party, but more effective than the Green Party, and more broad in scope than the Green Party. Versus like nature, oh my God, they're fucking up the environment. Become the they, you know? Have everyone involved in this party, through their respective professions or places in the world, enact, through their value system that they share, policy, decisions, even as a consumer, or as the head of a company, whatever. And then the world would be cool. You know?
So what?
Like, you know that spring? Can you do that again? Can you do that one more time? You hear that?
Yeah.
You know what I would do? I would fucking do that so that there's a chip on there, and when you do that, you hear like a cool song. Why not?
Yeah, I don't see why not.
Why not?
But
Who's gonna do that? No one has time.
yeah.
I'm joking, but I'm saying you could just like be creative with shit. Is there anything else you want to say?
No, I was thinking about you deconcentrated me with that. But
Yeah. So basically, get rid of a government that allows people to be poisoned by GMO food. Get rid of a corporate landscape that allows miserable slaves to make clothing and shoes in fucking China, Indonesia, Bangladesh, and then have miserable people in the less prosperous areas of the imperialists, like the ghettos or whatever, wear the fucking shoes and shoot each other over them, eating high fructose corn syrup from GMO food and getting fat and unattractive. You only have one life. It sucks. People don't even know any better, and they're not even feeling that good or that attractive. they don't see other people that are attractive as much because they're all eating poison food and high fructose corn syrup. And, you know, I think people are cowards, you know, like they have their kids at nice schools, and yet they live under a government, like the CIA in the U.S., that kills presidents, you know. Paul Wellstone, you know who that is?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He was
The
killed.
senator.
I showed you, yeah, he's killed
Yeah,
by
the
the U.S. government, totally. Right? The only
Yeah,
guy
1
that
week after.
Yeah, no, 3 weeks after making a speech not to go to Iraq, whatever, the plane blows up. And they fuck with other countries all the time. I don't know how people eat a hot dog and watch a baseball game when they have fucking guys remote controlling drones killing children at that moment. I can't fucking watch a baseball game. I gotta keep writing shit, thinking about shit, trying to find ways to gain enlightenment through meeting people or reading shit or just having ideas, being open. You know, like when you go butterfly hunting, you know how you do that all the time? Like with your mind, you know? Just being open to ideas. And like saying, alright, you know? But the world could be cool if people were cool and they would just make shit that was good quality and cooperate. Oh, I woke up once. I thought I was like drifting into some weird dimension. I astral travel a lot. I don't mean to. Many doctors have told me I do. They say you astral travel too much. You have to stop. And basically, I like realized the answer to life. I swear to God, it was crazy. It was like, imagine life is like even a nice sea, you know, but imagine it being totally perfect still and amazing. Cooperation. That's it. To cooperate. To work together. To be supportive of each other at all times.
Yeah, harmony with everybody.
Honest with each other. There's so much obstruction going on. So many hang-ups. Selfish desires.
Yeah, but even if someone is alone, like he can have that in his own mind. The human is a fucking virus to the human race.
I don't think so. I think bad government and corporations who have humans in them. So there's a virus that is within humans that I think fucks everything up.
But we all have our